I think I found the problem with this thing. I wish I'd found it before I bought a new one, because it looks like it's pretty easy to fix, but these things are really, really loose. These heating things are just, you know, not even finger tight hardly, both of them. Yeah. I don't know, what do you think, guys? How could that happen all of a sudden? Huh. Well, looks like I got a spare hot water heater now. I've got it hooked up here to a hose, and looking to see a lot of leakage in there. And it looks to me like it's coming from right around that nut there. And I noticed these are really loose, these two nuts. Oops. So now I'm pressure testing it, and after tightening those two nuts on the heater elements, there's no leak at all, so that was the problem. So now I'm going to disassemble the heater unit from the tank and take a look at the seals. First thing you have to do is unscrew this nut here without letting the whole heater retaining plate fall into the tank. They say to put this nut back on so that you have something to hold on to, so we'll do that. And you have to kind of twist it around in here. Not that way. There we go. And the whole thing comes out. There's the heater. And these are the seals that have gone bad. You can look on here and see that these seals here are all cracked. We'll take another look at them once I get them out of here. So now that it's out, I'm going to remove these two nuts. You can see the black is coming off on my my glove here. I got these two washers, which are hard plastic washers with a little flange on them. And then this pulls out. This is the heater unit. Note that it's angled. Has to be angled away from this plate when you put it back together. So here we are. And these, I hope you can see that well, but these two washers are just completely fried. Take a closer look. They're just coming out in chunks. You can see that pretty well, hope. But it's just completely disintegrated. And I think ultimately that's why the tank was leaking, because they disintegrated and then they shrank and then the nuts got loose and then the water started coming out. So you can see on my fingers, just from taking this apart, the amount of black on my glove. And I tried cleaning this stuff up. The only thing I found that works is Fast Orange, that liquid that mechanics use to get grease off their hands. Nothing else really touched it. So this is the second washer. I mean, I hope you can see that on the video, but it's just really in terrible condition. I don't know, you would think that, you know, an $800 water heater would have better quality washers. At least I would. So to clean these up, I'm going to use a wire brush. I already wiped it clean, but there's some fragments left on there. So I'm going to clean it up with this brush. This one. And then put the new washers on and put it back together. The main seal on the tank lid here is got another big rubber seal on it. That just kind of peels off. There's no sort of sealant on there. It's just the rubber. I ordered parts from a place called Marine Parts Source. The kit was about $40. It took almost 2 weeks for it to arrive. And it includes the main gasket and the internal and external rubber washers for the heater element. Okay, so that's a 19 millimeter, by the way. And you can see it's a little wonky coming out of here. It's kind of twisted. I don't want to really twist it back, so I'm going to leave it the way it is, but you can also see that right here it was hitting. I don't know if you can see the black on there. When it got loose, that electrode was touching that plate. Also, I don't know if that's a problem, but I don't know. It's just kind of a little wonky looking, but I think it'll be okay. The next step is to replace the the big rubber seal. And that just kind of goes on, and it's got a lip here, so you want to go around there like that. There, that looks pretty good. And then next, put it into the tank. When you put it into the tank, you want the, you can see there's, the nuts are off center. You don't want to put it in like this. You want to put it in like this. So the two nuts go towards the cold water side, the input, I guess, so that the heater element is at the bottom of the tank, not at the top when it's in the boat. And then you have to go through this gymnastic here to get the thing into the hole. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I got the unit back inside there, and then it's going to pull up to seal. And it's a fair amount of play in here. I think it's important to get it centered. And then what you do is you put this on. That pulls it up and seals it. There's a washer, and then this nut. I think finger tight, and then make sure that this thing is centered. There it goes. Looking around this edge here to make sure you have an even gap. And you can tighten it up. And I'm just going to snug that up with a wrench. Again, I have no torque spec on any of this, so just use your innate mechanics ability. That feels about right to me. So now I'm going to button it up, take it outside, and do a leak test. So it's filling up with water now from a garden hose, and once it starts coming out of the hot side, I'm going to put this cap on there. That'll pressurize the tank, and then I'm going to look for leaks around here and here where it leaked last time. Alright, so the tank is full. I'll turn off the water, put the cap on, and turn the water back on to get pressurization. The water's back on. The cap is dripping a little bit, but what I'm interested in is down here in this area, and there's no leakage. So I think the repair is complete. And there's no leakage around this seal either, the big seal. So I'm going to give it maybe half an hour, and if I don't see a leak, I'll go ahead and put the wiring back in and put this plastic cover on, and I'll have a spare hot water tank, or if anybody wants to buy it from me, just get in touch. So here's all the wiring reinstalled. Don't forget to get the ground connection there. These are the two power connections here, and then these are the connections to the heater elements, and then the thermostats go down in that hole there. So here it is being tested again. It's plugged in, and I'm going to run it for, I don't know, half an hour, and make sure the water's hot. And then I'm done with this project of the Isotemp Spa water heater into Webasto. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think.